Hey, this is Meredith's husband. I've got some SEO advice for you, but I'm going to keep it really simple so that you can understand it, so it makes sense, and most importantly, so you can actually use it.
I am ready for keywords number 3.
All right.
Can you pick up some chocolate on your way back?
Yep. It's on my list of things to do.
And bananas?
Okay. Keywords number 3. What do we do with our keywords after we've chosen them?
Yeah.
So if you have gone through and done some keyword research and chosen your keywords, congratulations, because that's the hard part.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's the hardest part. What do you do with them now? This is kind of easy.
Oh, good.
So this is essentially kind of this episode today is basically how to optimize a page for a keyword.
Oh, good. I actually want to know this.
So remember that our goal here is to avoid competition. Remember keyword cannibalization. We can't necessarily guarantee that a certain page is going to appear in Google instead of our homepage.
Right.
But if we have this done properly, we're not going to compete.
Oh, okay.
And Google's just going to make a decision. Do they show the homepage or do they show the inner page?
Okay.
That's going to be up to them.
That's fine.
So how do we optimize inner pages? You have your keyword. Yeah. What do you do with it? Let's say for you, we're going to optimize your children's photography page.
Let's try that.
Whatever term we've chosen. Where do you put that keyword? Number 1, the title tag. So the title tag is not visible text on the web page. If a user is looking at the web page, your title tag is not visible.
Oh.
Your title tag it's going to be your SEO title tag. Some people call it your meta title tag. It's not technically a meta tag, but some people call that. You'll find this in settings like Squarespace has a place for this. Any SEO plugin in WordPress is going to have your SEO title, your meta title, something like that. You want to include your keyword right at the beginning of your title tag. Okay. So for an inner page, an inside page, the first word, if our keyword is children's photography, it's going to be children's photography and then something like with Meredith's dinner or something like that. But you want to put your keyword right at the front. Okay. Right at the front. So not Meredith's dinner does children's photography. Correct. Exactly correct. Good to know. Now, the one exception here would be your homepage. Your homepage, your brand name is going to be first. Right. Your homepage title tag will be Meredith's dinner, then family photography, then whatever. Right. But the inner pages, like your pet's photography, the first word of your title tag will be pet photography. Pet. In Brooklyn with Merit, then whatever it is, but it start with that. Okay. Okay. Number 2, your meta description tag. Ooh. Don't do this. You don't need to do this. It doesn't matter. You don't need to put keywords in your meta description tag. Everybody thinks that's where you need to put it. You do not need to do that. Everybody thinks you have to do that. I know, but Google said 4 years ago, don't bother. It's not going to do anything. All right. When you're writing your description tags, it is important to have a unique description tag for each page. Okay. Okay. So each page should have something that's unique and specific to that page. Don't take a description tag and copy it for every page. That would be bad. But if you put your keywords in your description tag, it has zero impact on the rankings. Wow. Okay. Zero. Absolutely none. That never ceases to amaze me. What I do when I am creating description tags is I just take the first paragraph of text from a page and I use that as a description tag. And I whittle it down to 150 characters or less, 150, 160 characters, not words. Characters, right? And again, if you're doing this in Squarespace or any WordPress SEO plugin, and you're putting this text into your meta description area, it's going to have a character count as you're typing, so it will tell you when you've gone over. Okay. So this is a character, and this is a character, and this is a character. Technically, that's true, yes. That's 3 characters. Right. How many do I get? Okay. That's all you get. The other place that you need to put your keyword on your page is the heading. So this is the visible. If you're looking at a web page, typically they have some big text, big bold text right at the top. You might think of this as the title. Yeah. Don't, because that'd be confusing. Call this the heading. Sometimes this is technically called an H1, a heading 1. Oh, yeah. You've heard of those? Okay. Yeah. Also, got to put your keyword there. Now, it doesn't have to be right in the beginning here.
Okay.
And it doesn't, your heading is typically going to be shorter than your title tag. It shouldn't be the exact same. So if you were to pull up your children's photography page, it probably just says the heading is something like children's photography.
Right.
It's not children's photography with Meredith in Brooklyn. That would be a potential title tag.
Right.
But your heading is going to be typically shorter.
Okay.
And if you want, you can use some variation. If the exact keyword that you're targeting doesn't work, but there are close variations, you could use a variation in the heading.
Good to know.
Okay, next, the image tags, image alt tags.
Yeah.
Don't put them there either.
Crazy. See?
So
Nobody.
if they, well, there's a caveat. If it's appropriate, if there is an image on your page and it's an image of children's photography, then yes, but I can't imagine what that image would be.
Mm.
That would be the only time you want to put keywords into an image alt tag. Otherwise, you just want to name it appropriately. If you were to say like kids playing with their family, okay, that's not keyword stuffing. It's more accurate. And Google understands the relationship between these terms. So it understands that an image about kids playing in a playground or kids playing with their parents, it knows that's related to children's photography. You don't need to repeat.
Clever.
Yeah. They're pretty clever over there.
And does this have anything to do with accessibility?
Yeah, that's the reason you need image alt tags. But I'm just saying, for our purposes here today, don't stuff your keywords into your image alt tags.
Good to know.
You don't need to do that. This is somewhere else where you could think of keywords that are, variations or related, or typically that's going to happen anyway. If you have a page about children's photography, most likely you're not going to have an image with a grapefruit tree, say grapefruit tree. It's going to be something having to do with kids and families and something like that.
Kids in the grapefruit tree throwing rotten grapefruits.
In that case, if you did have kids playing in a grapefruit tree, I would leave out the grapefruit tree. That's not the part you want to be specific about. You could say kids playing in a tree.
Okay.
The fact that it's a grapefruit tree is not what's important.
This is true.
Okay. So, and then finally, your paragraph copy, all your text, like your paragraphs.
Yeah.
You do want to include some sort of variation here. It doesn't have to be the exact, if your keyword has variations, you can include variations. I would try to include your keyword near the very top. And then don't worry about it. Don't worry about repeating it. You don't want to repeat it. You don't want to have it all over the place. That's over optimizing something. And that's going to raise a flag with Google. It's going to look like keyword stuffing. It used to be years ago, for a few years, there was this thing called keyword density. And everybody was wondering, what's the right keyword density? And you could look at a page and you would have these tools that would analyze, okay, your keyword density is 2.7 and you should be at 3. That was a very specific time in SEO. Do not worry about that.
Do not worry about it.
Yeah. Chances are
that is
very
out of
good.
fashion.
It is out of fashion.
Like bell bottoms, but they're in fashion always. So.
Chances are very good. Whatever you are going to be writing about is going to be relevant enough and related enough to your main keywords. You don't have to worry about it. Google is they're going to understand that.
They're wonderful.
Another place that you want to put this. Do you remember we've talked about Google bombs?
Do you
in the
remember
past?
President Nixon? What?
You remember Google bombs? We talked about Google bombs.
Yeah.
And I think it was George Bush Jr.
Yeah.
And there was a Google bomb, miserable failure. If you typed into Google miserable failure, you went right to his homepage, his bio on the whitehouse.gov. That was a Google bomb. You can do that same thing kind of within your website. And this is what we would call using anchor text. So in that case, the term miserable failure was anchor text linking to George Bush's bio page. Do the same thing inside your website with your navigation and your blog content.
Okay,
So
I'm totally lost.
What does that mean? So in your navigation, when you link to the children's photography page with the term children's photography, that is reinforcing to Google, hey, this page is about children's photography. That's what I'm calling it. That's how I'm linking to it. That's a little mini Google bomb.
Yeah.
Likewise, if you have a bunch of blog entries and you're talking about something and you say, oh, if you're interested in this, check out my children's photography page. Use the words children's photography to link to your children's photography page.
Yes.
You're giving more signals to Google. Hey, this is my page that is about children's photography, and this is how you should consider it.
It's like an arrow pointing this way, my friends.
That's exactly what it is. You can also put links in your footer, although links in footer have diminished value because people try to overuse them for this reason.
Oh, man, you see like New York photographer, Brooklyn photographer, Lower East Side photographer, Upper East Side photographer.
Yeah. More recently, you'll see things in footers like, here are my services, children's photography, pet photography. Here are my rates, children's photography, things like that. If you feel that that's useful to your users, definitely do it. And I would say you probably want to use your footer to link to your most important pages,
right?
And use your keywords as the anchor text, which you're hopefully already doing in your main navigation.
Right.
So, just to recap.
Yes.
Put your keywords in your title tag first.
Yeah.
In your heading. In your page copy once, and then maybe with a couple of variations, and use them as text links in your navigation and blogs.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
I have no idea. I think it does.
Okay.
Just
go down that list. It's pretty simple. Put it. Yeah. But if you have a piece of paper, write this down. If you don't, come back and listen to this again. Number 1, your title tags. Number 2, your headings. Number 3, your page copy. Number 4, text links.
And that is a full day.
It honestly doesn't take that long.
It doesn't.
If you're doing just a single page, I wouldn't expect that would take more than 10 or 15 minutes. But if you're doing it for the first time, sure.
I give myself quite some time.
Yeah, we all know. Well, I know that. All right.
Thank you so much for listening.
See you next time.
Bye. Hey, thank you so much for listening. We really hope that you find this helpful and useful. And if you do, what you could do for us as a thanks would be to, drumroll please, yes, leave a review. Yes, everybody says it, I know, but it really does make a difference. Take 3 seconds, leave as many stars, say something really nice about what you like about the podcast and maybe why other people would like it. It would mean the world to us, especially my husband. That better? All right, I'm going to try one where I'm not going to be charming.